Hello, guys. My name is Aaron Alvarez Goodman, and I'm so glad that we made it to the end of the class. This course has been a little bit challenging for me, but at the same time, I have learned a lot of things, especially after discovering this book by Robert Greene. I keep reading it, and since I don't have reading comprehension, I listen it and I listen it to a lot, and I actually fell in love with this book and the other books that I have. I have read his previous book, 48 Laws of Power, and so that was so. Thank you for this course. So my goals and my mastery journey, my long term goal right now is to graduate and to establish. Uh, and to establish a career in journalism and film and storytelling. That is my long-term goal, and I have different strategies. In my regular day today, I or life, I on my journey, I have created, I have short term goals, daily goals, weekly goals, and monthly goals, and yearly goals. So my long term goal right now is to end up in a company that I could work as a storyteller in journalism or in film production, which I currently do as a freelancer now, but I want to do more like at a professional level. Ways that I to achieve my career is by graduate and establish networks, and hopefully I get to do an internship. The other ways is attending workshops and in my local state or city, or sometimes I travel for work. And one of the main things for me is to maintaining my core values with my values and culture and background. Also, is I like to often review my vision board to keep fresh. Sometimes it's easy to forget and get overwhelmed with so much distraction out there. Which is one of the things that it motivates me to do this, because there is so much distractions out there, and there's a lot of content that is just honestly, it doesn't make sense to me, a lot of them, and I really don't have time to watch a lot of the things that are in the internet or social media. My strategy to achieve this goal is to hardworking, to keep motivated, and to dedication and discipline, and to also face challenges and opportunities that's going to be along the way. And like I said before, dedication, discipline, and determination, that's going to help me keep on going. Like I mentioned before, my skills development, I try to attend workshops, and I live in close to Atlanta, so there's a lot of network events like film festivals, Independent Jewish Film Festival, there is the Latino Film Festival, and the LGBT Film Festival. There's a lot of opportunities to network. Also, there is a lot of the schools here have some events like SCAD. I do a lot of work with them as a production or actor with SCAD, which is is a very good school here in Atlanta. They have a lot of projects, and the other thing I put over here is researching and risk-taking. I researching topics that are not being covered by traditional media is one of my main goals, and in taking risks. Sometimes you take risk by covering things that a lot of times they find that is censored or well, there's a lot of politics and stuff like that that is not being covered because they don't get published due to the controversy that might create, and that's risk taking. Sometimes speaking something that a lot of medias are not covering, um, just because they're not fashionable or it's not a trend. That is something that I don't follow trends, and I like back in New York we have a saying that says I don't believe the hype. So working in my experience working in the entertainment, I know there's a lot of distractions that are being used by the entertainment industry as well. and that's with radio and TV included, and now social media, which is one of the biggest trends, especially for young people. And thinking out of the box, about doing things that's not. But when back in my music career, I did things that. Um, a lot of the projects that I accomplished is because I followed non-traditional ways that the industry was following, and I intend to follow these strategies of my journalism career, either as a storyteller, and create content creation and filmmaking. Um, I love the camera, but journalism is something that I have not done on the so much. So just basically in writing stories I done and presenting some stuff reports and in my previous job now and when I was young. So now I also have a challenge, which is my age. And the longer you're in, like Green says, by practicing, you learn and you master a technique. And so my next one is core values that drive me. Quality, I intend to consistently deliver reliable content and material for every project. I want to dedicate 100% to the projects that I create. And my previous some of you probably read my obsess. I believe in anything you do, you must be obsessed. I'll give you 100%. If you're gonna give, if that's one of the things that I learned in filmmaking, that you cannot be the actor, the writer. No, this is a craft that you have to work with different people in unity, and give me 150%. That's my not my goal. I practice it. That otherwise I don't do it. I don't like to give less than my 100. So the other innovation is embracing new technologies and techniques to improve my journalism and film projects and process. As you know, AI right now is one of the biggest things going on. There's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of, honestly, to me, I love it. There was something that happened before when drum machines came out. They said that a lot of drummers, as a musician, they said that a lot of drummers were going to be out of work, and he's actually helped the drummers to enhance their music and the music making. So it came something very good. But the beginning, people always there's a lot of speculations and this things can always work for you. So by learning, taking classes, workshops about AI, learning about the subject, and learning how it's advancing, because right now it's out of the box and the system is still learning as we speak. So there's nothing set on stones yet. It's very fascinating, as a matter of fact, especially for new media and social media and film is one of the biggest things that's growing. As you know, is growing. The other thing that is growing also in innovation is about virtual reality. I know there's a lot of investments in entertainment company that are investing in this, and they're trying to make content to be as real as it can be. So AI and virtual reality component, and I don't want to call it machinery. I want to call it instruments or gadgets or new technology devices. This is gonna keep on growing and is something that I like to discover more. Sustainability is committing to responsible practice and an aspect of my content delivery. I so with that is committing to my responsible core values of what I believe and not what is trend, not to follow a trend of be a I call it a fashion victim. Outcomes: prioritizing my content and stories that engage the community and social issues ignored by traditional mediums of media. Again, there's a lot of things that's not even covered. I tend to stir. I love animals. I love nature. There's a lot of things happening that because it doesn't in traditional media doesn't have a view of I believe it has a view, but just uh, something like somebody helping a Red Cross, somebody from the Red Cross that did a great job, or we help some save somebody, or same thing with a police officer, or somebody who work in the an EMT, or a doctor, a nurse, somebody who does voluntary work, and they're not being recognized. I believe there's a lot of stories behind why certain people do certain things. In my case, I volunteer with the Red Cross because it impacted me when I was a kid, and they helped save my family from war. Um, so my other thing is to check my advancement while I go through the year, scholar year, and examine my go back to my goals, so my vision board, through so I put over here, I check advance and short term goals throughout my academic year. So one of the objectives is industry involvement. I want to get more practice and hands-on, get involved in projects, so I can. That will take me to the next one. Build my portfolio, and for future jobs with different companies. And my other goal is through the year. While I don't want it to happen after I graduate. Hopefully, it happens before. I would like to do an internship or collaborate in any newsroom, which I'm currently trying to find out right now. How can I incorporate now? Like we have in Georgia, in Atlanta, we have CNN, so I'm trying to see how can get in there. I'm also trying to get in contacts with the studios that I work with, like ABC and NBC here, with the productions they're doing when it comes to sports or storytelling. I also want to, one of my other goals is to be part of the Broadcasters Association, so I can attend events that they have, awards ceremonies that they have. They also do a lot of community events. Georgia for me is new. I just been here for a couple of years, and in New York, I have a lot of in New York and Miami. I know a lot of people in the media, which it will be a lot easier for me. And the other goal is contemplating probably moving to another city or state that I could do that I could um, make my goals achievable and easier, um, and keep creating. I believe keep creating. The best way to learn is by keep doing things. And um, back on my career things are, I love creating, and like I said, Charlie Chaplin, D.W. Griffin, all these people, all these directors, they did it. They learn by creating, and I think that's the best practice. Thank you very much. I'm sorry it was a bit too long. And this is my strategy to achieve my goals. Collaborate, collaborate in projects like musicians and theater companies and urban events, social media storytelling contests, and also crowd sources to content. There's a lot of network through crowds or groups and social media, and pop-up events. Like in other words, crash to parties, and AI and virtual reality events. I know right now in New York and Atlanta they are testing some. You get paid, as a matter of fact, to just to spend their 3 hours with them to test their equipment, and I would like to do that. So I thank you. And my other thing is Film Festival, staying focused, motivation, and finding balance, motivated and motivated. That's my goal. And one of the quotes that Robert Greene has, he says, "Become who you are by learning who you are." I think this is a very strong. Um, I love this because once you know who you are, man, you're unstoppable, and you know you only know your limits. Nobody else's though. You can use that in your favor. And this is my resources page. Thank you very much, and sorry for the length. Best of luck.